Great shot that, perfect.
Now how does a little girl generate so much speed and power? Now in this video, I'm going to show you.
Oh, that's a great shot, Lucy. Oh, that's a cracking shot, Ruby. Way over.
Now like every great player, yes you, like every great player, you've learnt the skill in your hands, and now the hands and arm swing naturally pulls the body into the correct position, and not the body swinging the club head.
And just start moving your body from right to left, around in a circle.
So now you're ready to apply the law of force and motion, to squeeze out every last drop of power, speed and face control. Now it's impossible to do this until you've fully gained control over your hands, arms and wrist movements, because they ultimately control how the body moves. And this is absolutely massive, because 70 to 90% of club head speed and power comes from your hands, your arms and your wrists.
What do you think is the biggest contributor to speed in the golf swing? 70% of the speed comes from your hands. So if you're an amateur golfer out there and your hands are not active, you're just leaving something behind.
Just depends on who you ask.
Yeah, right.
And reposition for delivery. That's it. Now pressurised step. That's it.
Now, utilising the correct force and motion sequence pulls everything together. Your hands, arms and wrists and body movements all work together as one unit. But to work effectively, they have to move in the correct sequence.
Go with the Apex irons, a standard blade, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now when we're throwing a ball, playing tennis, or throwing a punch, we never really have to think about how our body sequences the movements. It naturally happens, because we're reacting from instinct, and our bodies move in such a way that we get the most out of the action that is physically possible for our bodies. The most efficient movement. Now if you didn't know, golf is a dead ball sport. The ball is not moving, it's just sat there looking up at us, giving us time to think of 1,000 swing thoughts in a millisecond. Then you get told to feel the pressure in your shoulders and coil up like a spring and feel the resistance. You'll hear the voice strain as they show you. May the force be with you. Now at the end of the day, golf is a ball sport and the goal is to react to the target. What? Can't be that simple, can it? React to the target. What do you do with your hips? But let's just jump into the biomechanics of an explosive and dynamic movement and see what we can learn to incorporate into our golf swings for maximum output. If we throw a ball, the first move is to plant the body weight onto our back foot, creating a stable platform. The combination of force, the weight transference, and motion, the hand and arm movement, naturally pulls and turns the body into the correct position, well balanced and loaded to explode from. Now the first move in the other direction is the lead foot initiates the movement, planting the foot firmly on the ground, freeing the body up, priming it for the hand and arm motion to follow. This combination naturally turns and moves the body automatically. You never once have to think about how your hips or your shoulders turn or move. Now if there's no force first, then there's no power in the motion. And I'll prove it to you. Now we've got the same ball and the same body, But let's see what happens when we reverse the force and motion sequence. The ball, hand and arm firstly move back away from the target, and now I plant my trail leg. The ball, hand and arm now head towards the target, and then I plant my lead foot firmly on the ground. You can clearly see that because the motion, the hand and arm movement, preceded the force, the weight transference, that the throw was weak and the balance and coordination was massively compromised. That's why many golfers struggle to generate any clubhead speed and power. They lose balance and get injured because they don't understand how the force and motion sequence works. But how could they if no one's ever told them? And all they do is try and coil and create tension. Tennis is the same. The weight transfers first, the force and the motion, the hand and arm movement, follows in both directions. Throwing a punch, the foot is planted first, the hand and arm follows in both directions. The force always precedes the motion. If there's no force first, then there's no power in the motion. Now, if you want to see how this works in action and how the lower body sets the motion free, then when you get a chance, watch a little kid play golf.
Oh, it's perfect that.
They have no other option to use the ground forces correctly because they haven't developed the strength in the hands and arms and wrists to move the golf club with any great speed or power. So they use the legs instead, and you'll see a clear step away in the backswing and how the body weight is planted firmly on the left foot and leg before they start down with the hand and arm motion. Now, if you learn the correct force and motion sequence first, then you can start to blend them into your gamer swing. Now, the best force and motion drill that helps golfers of all standards right up to the elite level works like this. But you can't just jump straight in with force and motion. Just like all great players, they firstly train their hands, they've gained control over the swing direction and club face alignment.
So far, the short game has been wonderful. 64 yesterday, which...
Was swinging with your ankles touching, right? So if I put my ankles touching like this, right, it makes me release the club.
Then you increase the speed and get fast, softly. Then the body gets involved with some simple weight transference from right side to left.
And just start moving your body from right to left, around in a circle.
And then and only then can you start to become more body-centric and more dynamic. That's why these kind of drills come right at the very end. But remember, if there's no force first, then there's no power in the motion. Yeah, if you really want to, yes, you can feel the build-up of pressure in your shoulders. You can coil up against your lower body, like this. But you're tense enough. May the force be with you. Because I tell you what, you're going to need it. Why don't you just try and swing it? Get off for a change.
Nothing wrong with that, mate. Great swing, perfect that. Good. Solid, mate, perfect.
Fantastic.
Yeah, good shot.
What a lovely shot.
Perfect.
Easy swing.
Good. Yeah, great shot, Sevi. Perfect that. Great shot, Leo. Well done, mate. Perfect that. Great shot, Lucy. That. Brilliant swing. Straight down the middle. Yeah, great swing, Ruby. Perfect. Kopanski. Well done, mate. Get in there.
How to get a fist bump with everyone.
Yeah. Well done, mate. Well done, mate. Go, Leo. First place. Well done, mate. In there. Okay, first place, mate. Well done. Go, Lucy. Go, Lucy. Well done, mate. Well done, my beautiful. Hey, you did it. You did it. Well done, mate.
Kopanski.
How are you?
I can feel it somewhere inside, haunting like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe.